Alrighty then. How's your evening going, ladies and gentlemen? Is it going as good as mine is? I'm having a really good time, I'm going to be honest. Very, very happy with that. Very much enjoying the memes. Just got a text off Micah Richards, which was just a crying, laughing emoji and the word well, which I got time for, to be honest. He's a good sport. I think he's had a bit of a rinsing on socials as usual after that, but it's to be expected, innit? How's everybody doing? Stu says there, Paddock claw 2 goals back to draw with 10 men. United scored 2 late to win at City. What a weekend. It's not been a bad one. Sausage rolls, no sausage rolls just yet. No sausage rolls just yet. As we said, we are still, 12th, 13th, something like that. So we can't get too giddy, but you better believe we're absolutely enjoying drinking in the tears of what's going on with Manchester City, and in particular Pep Guardiola, supposedly the greatest manager of all time. Don't remember the greatest manager of all time with the most expensively assembled squad of all time. Complaining that he's got no defenders when he's literally got a £100 million centre-half on the pitch, alongside two £50 million centre-halves, and a £50 million fullback. I'm going to be honest, it's a little bit of a stretch, brother. All winning just one game in 11. With just world-class talent all over the place. Fantastic. Get it in the chat. How's your Sunday going? Everything like that. Do you know what? I have got a bottle of Diplomatic up there. I've also got. Can I reach it from here? I forget to reach it. Hang on. It's just behind there. Get it in a sec. Jeffrey says, I'm worried about Kobe Mainoo. Why are you worried about Kobe Mainoo, brother? Josh says, Kyle Walker, you're not embarrassed. I'm embarrassed for him. By the way, I did love, if you've not seen it, Rasmus Højlund's Instagram post is sensational on it. Roses are red, violets are blue. And the winner of the Oscar goes to. Jed's Dead says, told you in September last year that Ahmad would usurp Anthony and be our main right-sided attacker. Weren't so sure. Kid is special. Yeah, if that's what I said at the time, then I'm absolutely wrong. He's been sensational since that Liverpool game. He needed to have been given more of an opportunity since then, really, didn't he? But yeah, it's one of those. Jamie says, did I see Monaco stop Arsenal's corner by putting players up the pitch? Who would have thought? I mean, yeah, I only coach at Cheshire League, but I really don't understand why people don't have a threat when it comes to set plays. I feel like the more people in there, the more opportunities for chaos it is. Thoughts on Mike Dean saying it wasn't a foul in a game like this? I think it's absolutely fucking nonsense, because if anyone remembers that little fucking arm pull on Rodri, was it last year before? Which was brought back about half an hour to go and give a pen to. That was way more of a penalty tonight, wasn't it? Way more of a penalty. I'm so glad that the result didn't hinge on something like that, because we'd have all been losing our shit about it. But it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Just Know says, Stay, I had a massive debate with a few mates about who United's most technically gifted players are. Thoughts? Who do I think United's most technically gifted players are? Lissandro Martinez, Amad Diallo, Mazraoui. They're the ones that come to mind. Ion says, does Messi have Ahmad posters on his wall? Messi's never scored a winner in a Manchester derby. You know. Can we talk about Ahmed? Fucking, we better be talking about Ahmed. You know what I mean? Ridwan says, everything Amarim says he's just right. I agree. Predrag says, Delo struggled again at left wing back. What's my thought on Anthony Robinson from Fulham, possibly in January? I think Anthony Robinson would be a brilliant buy for us. I worry about how much he would cost. But yeah, I like the look of him. I do like the look of him at left back, and I think he'd be a brilliant option for us. Meal says Bruno is very techie as well. Yeah, I think Bruno's more. He is technical. His decision making and eagerness sort of lets it, like maturity, kind of lets him down a little bit with that. But yeah, Guardiola's gone mad, says Emlington. Yeah, he doesn't look like a well boy, does he? At the minute, I don't think they'll sack him. I don't. Let's be honest with ourselves. Pep Guardiola is bigger than Manchester City. Right? Does anyone actually just try and be objective, right? Is Pep Guardiola bigger than Manchester City? For me, I think he is, right? I think he is bigger than Manchester City. And I think City fans, if they're being honest, would admit that as well, right? They're never going to sack him. They're never going to sack him. I don't know how he leaves. I don't know how he leaves, to be honest. Jed says, our manager's drug tested because Pep might want a piss test. They're not, I don't think. No, actually. Bonquiqui. Have I got that right? It says, Steve, I've seen Amarin's post-match interview. He's so humble yet ruthless. No, I haven't, actually. If anyone wants to drop the comments in, that's happy days. Disco Stu says, Pep needs a rest. Oh, there's absolutely a fucking sabbatical on the horizon, isn't there? Josh says, have I started a secret apocalypse stash for just me and Blake after listening to mine and Janine's post? Yeah. A lot of people clearly didn't get the context when I said my wife's leaving me on the last video that I did. That was Thursday night. I'm talking about fucking when the zombie apocalypse hits, Janine's just fucking off and leaving us. But she absolutely said that. Yeah, for sure. Me and Blake. Beautiful blue-eyed daughter. Just fucking abandoning us. Unbelievable, Jeff. Have I got a hint to give us about what's coming out tomorrow? Nope. Are we going to spank Tottenham? Tottenham are an iffy one because it could go either way, you know. Talk about the New Jersey drones. United have just beaten City in the Manchester derby. Let's give it 5 minutes before we get weird. At least, right? Can we give it 5 minutes before we get weird? I mean, we will get weird. Make no mistake about it. We're going to get weird. Bound to happen. But let's give it 5, all right? Emperor's Crusader says, hey, dude, love the channel. First message here. If I could choose a name, would I pick Lombard or Rhomboid? Lombard, maybe? I don't know. It depends on the context. What am I naming? Twiz says, Ugarte. Have I heard what Bruno said about Ugarte? No, give me the context, please. Ahmed has Kiev Express vibes, keeps attacking the defense. Wetterberg says, does this give Amarim more respect out of the choices and outcome of this game? Yes, I think he does, for sure. Joe says, Steve, I reckon the players know they're going to get hit with big punishments for the charges. That's talking about City, I presume. I really don't know. Sorry, I've just been derailed here. I've been asked to do one of these boxing things, right? And I'm open to it. I've just had a text off an ex-United player that's also been asked to come and do one of these things. And just obviously Danny Simpson's already done it. There's another one that's already done it, and this person has just put there, will slap whoever they get put in front of. I'm here for. He is one of the hardest men in the town, after all. Amir says, Amarim is reforming the club, but the players need to either get better or we need to sign Gyökeres or two. How long until Pep gets the sack? As we've said, I don't think he's going to get the sack, you know. I don't think he's going to get the sack. So, on City, why are City so bad? Why are City so bad? I honestly think if you're trying to be real and objective with it, either they were doing PEDs and they're now off cycling and it's just taken the floor out from underneath them, or yeah, they might have been told, listen, you're getting fucking relegated because those charges are sticking, and they've been briefed up and worded up. And if that's the case, you know, who knows? Who knows? Alex says, I love how Ruben just shuts down bullshit questions about selection. He just knows how to handle himself. Daniel says, burnout. I think it can't just be burnout. Iron says, Cravo would be an ideal Bruno successor. Technically gifted, reminds me of Villa Grealish. I can see that. Rurkov says, feel sorry for Mount. Anyone else feel like Diallo deserves a good old Hawk tour? I mean, you can do him if you want. Joe says, I reckon the City players have inside knowledge and they know their effort is meaningless because they'll be relegated anyway. It feels something like that. Feels something like that, doesn't it? Pep's trying to get sacked. I don't think so. What rum am I celebrating with? Do you know what? I've got a bottle. Let me get this bottle. I've not opened this bottle yet. This bottle's been here a minute. It's even dusty, but look what it came in. We've got a Mount Gay 1703. And as you can see, not opened just yet. Don't know. Maybe we'll crack it open tonight. Maybe we won't. We shall see. I do have a glass, and I do have some Coke up here. I could do it. I don't have any ice, though. It's come with a little card. I mean, it is a fancy bottle, to be fair, and it is a fancy old box that it's in. Yeah, that was a little treat to myself. When was that, about a year ago? Not opened it yet. We will crack it open. Put on a classic jersey. I'm not getting changed. Diesel's in the background. Yeah, you can just see a little head popping up over there, can't we? Diesel, what's this? What's this? Do I think the players should get more of a punishment for what Walker did? Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it's simulation, and it's probably an attempt to get someone sent off, isn't it? It's ridiculous. Corners are a big issue still. They are a big issue still. I'm sure we'll get round to fixing that. Volume up a bit. I'll get a little bit closer to the mic here if you want. Pep looked like he was saying a prayer on a touchline before the second half started. Martin says, if City get relegated, would you all want United to go for Haaland, rub the salt in the wounds? Because of the financial situation of City, I don't think they would be forced into selling anybody they didn't want to sell to anybody they didn't want to sell them to. So they might have to sell, but they might not have to sell them to, United, for example. So they could just sell them abroad, I think. Or, welcome to Girona, Erling Haaland. There you go. Know what I mean? Stu says that's got Paddock promotion written all over it. There's been more than one bottle getting done if Paddock get promoted. Justin says Steve going to be back in Manchester in July in a long time for the Oasis. Nice. Well, I'm in Dublin for it. Sparky says, if when City get relegated, how would it affect relegated promoted teams? Fucking no idea. No idea. That's ever happened in my lifetime in the top flight, at least. Anyway, I'm not sure. What breed is my dog? He is a skinny old Staffy. And says I'm drinking a few Krakens from and in Germany. Cheers for the result. Happy days. What team would take Rashford? I actually think a lot would take Rashford, to be honest with you. I actually do think a lot would take him. I think he's got a far better reputation abroad than he has in Britain, actually. So it says Rasmus Maguire, Alicia Onana, all top class and shithousery today. Loved each incident. Onana leaned on a guy slickly, and others did it sneaky too. Good stuff. Yeah, shithousery is fantastic. Sean says, just seen a better Amarin's aftermatch report, and he said it mentioned the way you dress in relation to Rashford and Garnacho's attitudes. Well, he said everything, didn't he? He said everything. He said he takes into account everything. Rough Walker says, big up the guards, Shagger. Big up the guards. They do dress smartly when they're not in the red one. Stop turning away from the mic. I'm going to put these over here then. Put the chat over here so I can actually read it and see it at the same time. Ugarte was good, says John. Totally agree. Knight says he's got a better reputation at every club outside of Manchester, including in the Prem. Yeah, if you've seen how Arsenal fans are getting themselves all moistened up at the thought of taking Rashford, it tells you everything you need to know. Anton, member, who's just dropped in a chat, says, just want to say that I've poured myself a whiskey after 2 beers. We've turned the game around. I'm happy for Ahmad and Amarim's decision. What we have done, I think if you see below, like Anton's done there, I've turned membership back on the channel. And I uploaded a video yesterday. I uploaded some stuff last week. And I'm trying to get a good few things out each week. I'll be doing some behind the scenes stuff. I've got some stuff that I'm doing on Tuesday, Wednesday this week, which I'll be showing some behind the scenes of. If you're interested in that sort of shit, then you can either become a channel member or there's a link in the description and become a Patreon member. But we're blasting out all sorts of behind the scenes sort of content. And for everyone that was interested in the IRL festival that we're going to do, tickets are probably going to sell out. I mean, there was like 300 people said they was interested. We're going to limit it to 50 people because we want it to sell out, really. So hopefully it will sell out, but it's only going to go to Patreon. I don't think it'll even get to public. Hostad says, which house does Walker go home to? Alex says, Ugarte, the first destroyer number 6 we've had since Keno. Keno was a number 8, really. Keno wasn't really the destroyer that... I don't know where this reputation come from. Hugh Ben Amarin says, read the Dan Carlin's Substack live and talk about it. What's in Dan Carlin's Substack? Twist says, love the cap, by the way. Shout out to the boys at GBRS. I mean, I got actually a lot of GBRS stuff. In fact, you know, that bottle that I'm drinking out of isn't one, but I've got the bottle that goes along with this cap here as well, actually. Let me just get the thing up here. The Terrible Night one. I was chatting to Jay, who's an instructor for GBRS. I'm doing a shoot with him on Tuesday, Wednesday. For Sterling Timepieces, actually. I was saying, obviously, I've gone through this little weight loss thing, but there's been a lot more in this, which when I do the £100 weight loss video, you'll actually see what's gone into it, and it ain't just like decided in like June, July to get the timber off. There's been actually loads of deliberate decisions that have led to this point. But one of the things I was saying to Jay over the weekend is the little sort of reminders that are in the GBRS stuff. You know, whether it's the caps, obviously this cap doesn't have one, but I have got by the way, if you're a hat nerd, I got this. I got this for my hats. Is that sad? I like a lot of the slogans and stuff that come on the hats. And obviously they've just dropped the Be a Pro stuff recently, and I really like those sort of sayings and that, and they might seem like real small, inconsequential kind of things, but I for me personally, like a lot of my self-talk was like really fucking negative. Like, I call myself a pussy and a bitch all the time. You know, if I do 8 fucking reps or something in the gym, I like proper have a go at myself. And you know, maybe it's not good. Maybe I need a bit more positive. And a lot of the GBRS stuff, 1% better, be a pro, burn the ships, all that sort of shit. I think that's real good kind of positive self-talk, and I found it be quite powerful actually over the last like 6 months or so. I found it really kind of worked. I'm trying to plan a trip over to go and see the guys in Virginia, actually. Hang out, do a bit of shooting and that. And And yeah, I'm a big fan of the message that they put out, especially the Be a Pro one. That sort of, in everything you do, just be a professional about it. I like that. Ion says Garnacho is not what people made him out to be. Ego like Ronaldo, abilities are Dan James. There's a lot of that going on in the air. Any blood doctors nicked recently in Catalonia, says Mike. Disco Stew says, too many people compare the best managers ever on trophies alone. It's times like these that set the great from the greatest apart. So Alex Ferguson and Arsene Wenger would figure this sort of form out with who they have. Oh my God, absolutely. Alexander Pitt says, my favourite is Bumbu. What rum should be on my list? Bumbu's very good, right? Salford should be on everyone's list, right? And I'm so happy Salford is such a good rum because, like, it could have been shit, right? There's a Manchester, I think it was called Manchester Still, something like that, or Manchester Distillery, and it was fucking paint stripper. It was disgusting. But Salford, not only is it a beautiful bottle, but it's a really buttery rum as well. So it's fucking sensational. Salford should be on anyone's list, and Salford's actually the rum that I buy as a gift the most for people, especially if they're out of town. I would buy a Salford rum for someone as a gift. But Salford should be on there. Bacardi Ocho is a really fucking good one. People like kind of look down a little bit on Bacardi. It feels a little bit like Captain Morgan's because it's very like everywhere. But yeah, Bacardi Ocho especially is fucking class. Salford, Bumbu, and then Diplomatico is the GOAT for me. I think Diplomatico is the absolute top one. Do I feel colder this winter without the extra blubber? Yep. Amazon link for the hanger. We'll sort it out at some point. Frut says Robinson is 27. Don't care. Is he that old? I didn't realise he was that old if he was, but yeah, I don't care. Dom says, why can't anyone just call it? Pep cannot rebuild a squad. It's beyond him. That might be the case, yeah. That might actually be the case. Can we get weird yet? I'm in shed having a smoke. Where they were actually comparing Pep to Fergie. There's a lot of people who won't even compare Pep to Fergie and just say Pep's fucking top of that tree, which is fucking insane to me. James says, evening, Steve. Great win. Great end to the weekend. Blocked me on Twitter years ago and it still bugs me today. You probably earned it. The defensive line says, why does being nervous make you shit more? Einstein was wasted on relativity, to be honest. Could have been answering the real questions. Is it something to do with adrenaline? Might be something to do with adrenaline. Would I sell Garnacho, in my opinion, if things aren't going his way or working for the team? Yeah, team above self at all points, at all times. Achieve Greatness says, Leon kid looks like a beast. Have we got him? Sounds like we've wrapped him up, doesn't it? But I think he'll be a minute off first team. Could be a couple of years off first team, and that might not even be enough. Does Mazraoui bench Yoro at centre-back for our first choice defence? Not necessarily, no. I think, as we sort of saw today, I think if he plays a back five or goes a little bit like a back five in these games like this, and then he flips it up to go with a winger in the wing-back role later in the game, I think that's a pretty solid move, actually. And, that's how we ended up forcing the goals that we did. Shab says, I'm 2 months in, dropped 20 kg. Fucking hell, that's big. I mean, I'm 6 months in and I've dropped 30. In 2 months, that's fucking sensationally well done. Vinay says, can we talk about Yellowstone yet? You can start throwing it in there if you want. I haven't seen tonight's episode. I don't know if it's out yet. I know Landman's out. I think, is Lioness finished or is there one more to go? I think Lioness might have already finished. I'm out of town, Steve. Send us a bottle. Eamon says, is there a weight loss video coming? Fell from full-time Devil's Days. Congrats on that, by the way, but when's the vid coming? We're probably filming it this week. Yeah, probably filming it this week, mate. Hope to film it this week, at least anyway. all I'll say is I don't think people are expecting what's going to be in the video. I think you are expecting what's in the video, and you'll get a little bit of what you're expecting in the video. But I also think that there's going to be more to this than comes from the video, and it's a little bit about purpose and stuff like that, and a lot about mental health, as well as the very basics of diet and exercise. It's going to be a whole thing. Drones and Dan Carlin. Oh, okay. Might have to get into that. Wayne says, don't understand how people compare Pep to Sir Alex Ferguson. Burnout and lost the players after 8 years. Sir Alex Ferguson went 3 more times longer than that. Yeah. I've ever tried red leg rum. Yeah, it's pretty basic. Is Alvaro coming back? I'd be surprised, to be honest. Yeah, I'd be surprised, to be honest. Jordan says, any change in opinion on what Anthony could do after the bench after the last few games? No. Would I like to see Cheeto get some minutes late on in games? No, I think he's still miles off. I think that, and the evidence of that is he's not even starting ahead of Wheatley. So why are we not asking for Wheatley to start ahead of him beforehand? Do you know what I mean? I think patience on him. Obviously, he's an exciting kid, but let's have a bit of patience. I'm sure when the time is right, we'll get him in there. What do I have for Christmas dinner? Am I ham or turkey? Both. When my mum does it, and it's usually my mum that does it, although we're at my sister's this year for it. That's a first. I think there's beef, turkey, and ham. I'm pretty sure of it, actually. And what's the best side dish? I love a stuffing ball. Enjoy. I've ever tried Bruegel. Well, I've lost that comment now. Where's that gone? I don't know what that is. Where's that comment gone? What would I say my dream is? Probably to fucking get further out into the countryside and have a fucking big farm where I don't have a next door neighbour. I have to get in a car to go see someone. That's how far away from people I would like to be. Where I need a fucking car to go next door. That's what I would like. And a fire pit, like a permanent fire pit in my garden, where I could just fuck off and set fire to something and sit there with a dog and just fucking sit there and be well happy. Have the 2 Muppets today that got dropped had a scrap? No. Sean says, Pep's the kind of guy that would only play as a classic 11 on FIFA and would tug himself after winning on pens against Yeovil. I mean, they've literally... Well, they haven't won on pens against Yeovil, but... I mean, look who they draw in the FA Cup. We get Arsenal, they literally get Salford City. That's the sort of draw that they get in the fucking Champions League as well. Could I see Pep keeping Wolves up this season? No. Genuinely think he would be the worst. Like, some managers are really good with that relegation scrap, but then maybe can't handle the pressure of managing a club that's expected to win. Pep would be the opposite. Pep would be really, really good with the best team in the league and be dominant with them. But you give him a team that you need to keep up, and he's not going to have a fucking clue. He can't play off the back foot. When has he ever done that? When has Pep ever got a tactical victory? When has it ever been anything other than they were the best team and they just played the best football? When has he ever won a game off the back foot? You tell me that. Is Diplomatico Reserva exclusive of rum the run I recommend? Yes. And it's this bottle as well, by the way. There's about 3 or 4 different bottles, but it's that's the bottle you want. They might lose to Salford. They fucking might lose to Salford the way they're playing, to be honest with them. Have I watched Say Nothing yet? No, I don't think so. Aaron says, hope all's well. Steve met you at the paddock match in Dublin at the bar and the match. Love it. Yeah, it's all right. Jed's Dead says, makes me wonder what was going on between Ten Hag and Anthony. It might have just been that he wanted to make Anthony work. Dan says, against Arsenal, I want us to put 4 or 5 players on the halfway line, set pieces. Yeah. Hodgie says, feels better for Rashford and the club if they part ways. Think it's too much to come back now. Right now I feel the same. Pep's going to call Roman Segura to get the strong stuff tonight. Rico says, I think Christian Eriksen and Anthony deserved a place over Rashford and Garnacho, guys that have constantly saved us. We'll see. Do you think United will go back for Brownfight in the summer? I fucking hope not. We always do beef, turkey and ham, butties and baps with the leftovers for a good week afterwards. Yeah, my mum always tries to make us take home that stuff. I don't like eating leftovers, so I never bother. But yeah. She always makes far too fucking much. What stuffing ball, though? Aunt Bessie's. Unless someone could do a homemade one. Then I could maybe look into that. Tino says, I'm off to bed. I was flying to Dublin in the morning, looking great. Seeing your face, you're healthy or whatever you're doing, keep it up. Hopefully see you at IRL Fest. Enjoy. Anton says, thanks for making great content about United. You are honest and fair about your judgment, and that is rare in a social media era. Well, it's all I can do, innit? I am a real person that goes to the fucking games. If it was any other way, I'd have people fucking telling me that. And I've got some perspective, unlike some of the fucking plebs that you see on social media. Or at least I think I have. Do I think Maguire has a place in the squad in the long term? I think the price tag of him and his wages might dictate that he needs a bigger kind of role in the side. But I think he's a great backup as the central centre-half, to be honest. I still think I'd have De Ligt over him in that central centre-half spot. Hilton with a super chat says, City playing like a team who know they're guilty. I hope it's the case. BBB12 says, I just want Ahmad to be my son. That back frees fire. Steve, welcome to the channel as a member. Yeah, like I said, there's membership shit on there if anyone wants to get in it. Mark says Bramthwaite is shite. I totally agree with that fucking very in-depth technical assessment. Jez says, honestly, one of the Milan clubs or PSG would suit Rashford. I think he's overthinking, and those leagues won't punish that as much as the intensity of the Premier League does. I just think the change, different environment, different friends, different everything would force you to just be different, I think. I would absolutely have it. What's my calories been like recently? I've been trying to get to 2,000, but I'll be honest with you, I'm struggling. I'm struggling to eat enough. Not I'm struggling to eat too few. I'm very easily just not really eating a lot at the moment. My whole biology has changed. In 6 months, my whole biology has changed. Getting off the sugar of the Red Bulls all the time has made me not crave sugar. Like, I must have had like 3 chocolate bars in 6 months. And I must have had 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 a week, right? Minimum. So I think not having the sugar of the Red Bull has made me not crave the sugar, and that's just totally taken my calories down. So when I go, oh, I'm just eating a Caesar salad, a protein shake, and then like chicken and rice for my tea, when I say that's all I'm having, that is all I'm having. There ain't no hobnobs, there ain't no snacks, there ain't no crisps, there's no nothing. Like, when I'm eating that clean, I can eat just that and I'm pretty full. Whereas when I'm eating dirty, if you like, or when I'm eating sugar and I've got that in my diet, then I could easily go off rails. And I mentioned in the Red Bull video, going to the petrol station to grab a couple of Red Bull, which I was doing 2-3 times a fucking day. It's so easy to grab a bag of McCoys and a Twix. And I was doing that all the fucking time, man. And that's where, you know, you're getting an extra, like, what, 400 or 500 calories in the Red Bull, and then an extra 1,000, really, with a Twix and a fucking bag of crisp. For what? So I've been hitting, like, 1,400, 1,500, which is low. And I'm listen, for those of you who follow me on Instagram, I have tried to be really, really honest. Things are not fucking great. Yeah, the weight loss has been great, but my strength is going backwards. And for the last week, I've nearly been passing out. And I don't want to be passing out. Like, for 2 weeks, I've tried to up my calories, and I want to try and focus on strength. I want to get bigger. I want to get stronger. And I'm trying to get faster on my runs. Like, I'm putting a lot of output into my training at the moment, and it ain't going to plan. You know, the weight loss has been fantastic, and I'm very happy with where I am in that sense. But I've tried to change the focus now, eat more calories, maintain and get stronger, and I'm failing. But for the last week, I nearly passed out doing squats. I nearly passed out at the game yesterday, and then I nearly passed out last night when I came home. And I've Googled it. Let me just read out what it's called because I can't remember what it's called. And I've basically fed my symptoms into ChatGPT, and it's called orthostatic hypotension, right? Supposedly it's like a low blood volume. And who knew when you lose a shitload of weight that you lose a load of blood volume? So trying to dial back, like I should have gone for a run today, not gone for a run today, skip the gym on Friday as well, trying to just like have a bit of a deload week or so. Trying to get more electrolytes, more salt, and try and figure out a way to get my red blood cell count a little bit back up because yeah, if I stand up now, there's a fucking 50-50 chance that I'll go all lightheaded. And I haven't gone out yet, and I haven't hit the deck yet, but it fucking feels like it's coming, to be honest. Like, it was only last night I would have gone out if I wasn't leaning against my sofa. Like, I would have fucking hit the deck and smashed my face in. So with the whole weight loss journey, I'm trying to be really honest with you. I'm not trying to fucking sell anyone, well, anything. I'm not fucking selling anything with it. I'm just sort of telling you what I'm doing. But I want to be really honest with it and just say, yeah, look, eating this amount of calories and having no sugar and actually being honest with what I'm tracking, yeah, I lost the weight. But on the other side of it, I'm trying to get stronger and faster and train harder, and I'm fucking struggling with that at the moment. So it's one of them, innit? Steve Brindle says, X-Forces myself, 9th, 12th Lancers. Nice. Love the content. Cheers, our kid. Wavy Jones says, Ahmad's size concern long term? For fucking what? Why would it be a concern? Like, he's great in the air. He's tenacious as fuck. He's scoring goals. He's creating goals. He's winning duels. Is it a concern? Fuck no. Josh says, if the finale of Yellowstone doesn't end with that land getting sold to the Native Americans / Tate for $1, I'd be very shocked. Yes. I think Tate, my theory is, I don't know if we spoke about this on the brew already. My theory is Tate is the key to this because Monica and Tate's storyline in Yellowstone has been fucking weak, hasn't it, at the moment? Considering Taylor Sheridan's kind of like love and respect for the Native American population and the desire that he seems to have to tell their story. Thomas Rainwater, Monica and Tate's story has been fucking dry. So I think it has to be them that kind of save Yellowstone. That's my only theory. It's got to be in that. It's got to be going back to the Native Americans. I think it has to be. That's the game, I think. Ahmadi's fine just as he is, says Twiz. Did I see Walker's reaction to Rasmus? No. Ben sent me something, but I think it's a blag. Akash, who's a member as well, says, can't lie here. I think Mount is done at United. I think you might be, you know. Callum says, are we ready to get weird? Let's get weird, man. Try natural juices to get healthy sugars, says Von. I'll have a consider of it. Have I considered doing a carnivore diet? No. One, it's fucking expensive. And two, I don't necessarily think I need it. Well, Vanny says, I'll be starting my weight loss journey. I've done it before, know how tough it is. So keeping attainable goals is the hardest part of training. Amir says, Manchester United, this favourite, my club since studied best and biggest in the world. I'm presuming English isn't your first language there, but happy days. Farrell says, nuts, beans and leafy greens. Sounds like a slogan. Name says, nuts are a healthy way to raise the calories if you want to hit that 2,000. I have actually been fucking smashing in some nuts, actually. They're paws as fuck. But yeah, I bought 3 packets of nuts today when I was at the shop. I've gone for some chorizo flavoured ones. I've gone for some buffalo flavoured ones. They weren't all that, to be honest. And I've got some honey roasted cashews as well. I do like honey roasted cashews. If that's how you want to get some calories in, you can get some fucking calories in with that, you know. Darren says, hope Ollie gets the Wolves job. It'd be good to see him back in the Prem. If he does get the job, first home game will be United. Fucking hell. Alex says, what's that called again? What's what called again, mate? Dan says, red blood cell count better than Red Bull count. I think it was probably a lot of Red Bull count actually in the blood. Aaron says, when I first opened a video, I even thought you looked like a much healthier person. Well, cheers, I think. I'm starting Monjaro. What's Monjaro? January, too old to do too much exercise after a heart attack. Ooh. Yeah, one of my mates that I serve with recently just had a heart attack. And he's trying to get with, I think he's allowed to do at the moment. I think he's had is it a triple bypass, something like that? I'm not familiar. He's only allowed to do 10 minutes of walking at a time, which is fucking bad in it, but he's slowly getting into that kind of rhythm. James says, I've started creatine. It's helped my strength. Pretty happy with the results. Yeah, I'm doing 10 grams of creatine a day. I have been for probably 5 or 6 weeks. So what happened is, and I've had to fucking get onto fucking chat PT with this as well and be like, right, what fucking hell's gone on? So we're going to talk about this quite in depth, me and Janine, on a podcast. So that £100 weight loss video, hopefully filming it next week when I actually get down to 193, because I'm currently at 194, so I've got a pound to go. I think I'll hit it next week. We'll do the weight loss video, and then I'm sure there's going to be loads of questions in that video. So we're going to do sort of like Janine's angle and her side of it, and the things that she's seen and her perspective on everything that's happened and all that sort of shit. But there's a bit of a flow in there of some stuff. And in terms of supplements, I mean, the supplements aren't complicated. I have Animal Pack, which is this, which is vitamins. I have creatine and I have vitamin D, and that's it. That's one of those, isn't it? Vinay says muscle loss happens when you lose weight. Yeah, I've lost about 15 pounds in muscle. So I actually found a photograph of me before in the gym from San Diego, not this year, last year. It was the day that I actually saw Luke Shaw in there. 2 of us in the gym. Look at us. And I look a lot. Obviously, I'm bigger because I'm carrying a right load of timber, but I'm also broad. Like, you can see my arms and shoulders are a hell of a lot bigger. Yeah, I lost a hell of a lot of size when the weight started to come off, for sure. It just did. War Machine says Animal is number 1. Yeah, it's top. There's no 2 ways around it, is it? It looks well suspicious. It's just vitamins. Makes your piss bright green. Rates one of them, innit? Donald says, isn't 10 grams too much if you're not loading? I'm no expert, so please correct me if not. You need 5, and I'm just taking 10 just to try and make sure that I'm getting enough. Anytime I eat meat and vegetables, I get lean. I kind of want to research meat and veggie diet. I'm sure there's probably lots of people that have done that. What's the thing? The thing I keep passing out, what's it called? It's called orthostatic hypertension. Did I see Grealish coming on? He looks about 40. He had fuck all, did he, when he came on? Jason says New Jersey drones. Sorry, whispers New Jersey drones. Right, New Jersey drones. Supposedly they're drones that can smell a dirty bomb. Forgive me if I'm fucking wrong on that. Chat, correct me. Is that what's happened? What am I reading nowadays? I have just finished this. I was really looking forward to reading this because my old boss was Task Force Black, and I was really interested in finding out what happened in there because I knew a little bit of some of the stuff that he got up to. But Task Force Black was, as it says, it was one of the secret units that was fighting in Iraq. My old boss, it was a bloke that I had so much fucking respect for. Literally the best boss I ever had. Let's just have it right? Best boss I ever had. He was Task Force Black and had some fucking alley photos from that. And I saw that book and I was like, yep, I need this fucking book in my life, and I need to see what the fucking crazy asshole got up to. And yeah, it was a good book, actually. It's a good book, and there's a lot of stuff that went on that I wasn't aware of course. Let's say. Stuart says, sugar detox, the hardest part. Once you get out of your system and the cravings stop, it's just much easier to eat well. I'll be honest with you, it's been so fucking easy. Like, literally so easy. As soon as I got back from America, it was just easy. Just honestly, it's been easy. I had cravings maybe 4 or 5 times in 6 months where I've gone like, oh, let me go and eat, and I've ended up getting out Mackey's or something like that. But I haven't crumbled, and I'm about 150, 150 days, no Red Bull, something like that. I think 150 days might be tomorrow, actually. Drones are also in New York. Oh. Being a baller, how would I describe my play? Left winger, left back, functional, hard-working, decent left peg. James says gamma radiation. That's what the drones are saying. Wowzers. Do we think there's anything in that? Have you ever read any of the Andy McNabb books? Yeah. I like... Is it Seven Troop? I think it's called. That's a good one. I don't really like the fiction ones, although I will say Jack Carr's James Reese series is fucking sensational. But yeah, I've not really got into any of the Chris Ryan ones or the Andy McNabb ones that are fiction. I actually like the ones that are non-fiction. I think they're pretty good. Alex says, my mum didn't believe that I'm 41. Said I thought I was younger than you, 37. She's in medicine, says, drink more water and you'll pass out. I couldn't drink any more water. Like, I'm drinking about 5 or 6 litres a day. I do need more electrolytes in. That might be a thing. I might have been drinking too much water and not getting enough electrolytes in. Ashley says, United didn't play very well, but what a turnaround of events. Still a lot of work to do. I disagree, you know. I thought we were good with the ball, very precise with the ball. I thought we defended really well. I don't think we created a hell of a lot, but we created enough. Job's a good one. Julian says, curious to hear what an injury-free Ethan Laird would do in this system. Oh, he'd be fucking very good in this system, wouldn't he? I've not actually seen how he's getting on this season. Is he playing? Let's have a look. Let me have a Google. Is he actually playing? Not that much. Has he been injured? Because let's be honest, that's only been his drama, hasn't it? His injuries, because otherwise he was a fucking hell of a footballer. Ion says, lost 25 kg since July and now sitting at 87 kg. I've hit a plateau. Any advice? Fucking hell, mate. Yeah, I mean, you're basically lost them out as much as I have, so I'm probably in no better place to give you any advice than all the rest of that. I don't know. Up the exercise, up the protein, see what happens. I mean, how much more do you think you've got to lose? I'm at like 194. I think about 185, so another 9-10 pound, and I'll be lean, like poolside in a pair of shorts, lean. Happy days. Srinivas says, why did my mate that I serve with get a heart attack? Don't know. Not in terrible shape, to be honest. I mean, not in fucking Olympian shape. He's 40, but not in horrendous shape. Bit of a surprise, but yeah, bad one. Yeah, fucking bad one. Hospital job, yeah. Well, proper hospital job, yeah. Meal says, Cobby was the only academy player in the squad today. Hope we don't lose that record. No, I don't think we will. Stephen Harris says, low blood volume, stop insulting Pep. I'm sure he can hook you up. Witterbird says, Grealish, 45 games, no goal, worse than Anthony. It's horrendous. Just not the right player at the right time for City in the slightest, was he? But hilarious nonetheless. That's played out the way it's played out. I'm here for it. I'm absolutely here for it. I mean, what do you lot think is the reason that City have fell off as hard as they fell off? Who do I think is worth more in the market, Rashford or Garnacho? I think Rashford still. The drones are from Iran, and that's not what I saw. I saw that they were American drones, but there was a reason for them, I think. Alex says, next season pre-season tour is going to be interesting. Me and Speedos with a cocktail, and Jay doing a brew. I'm not, if I hit 180s, I'm not fucking taking any shirts. I'm just taking baby oil and the shortest shorts I can find. And I'm not fucking joking. Sam says, are we still online? Yep. Jez Dead says, can we be a bit quicker moving the ball forward and cut out sloppy passes? I think we're doing well. I agree on the speed. Yeah, we have been a little bit deliberate with it, haven't we? Ion says trying to get to 80 kg. Is that, what's that, about 185, 180? Something like that. Did I see Rasmus' post yet? Yes. Could Onana have done better for the goal? It's on the 6-yard line, which I think is where it gets a little bit murky in terms of whether the keeper should come for that one or not. Witterbird's super chat says, why does no one talk about Grealish being 45 games? Anthony is better. Please help the price tag. Ion says, have I seen the Man in High Castle series on Prime? Yeah. I got into it for like a season or a dozen episodes maybe or something. I can't remember. I have seen it, yeah. I need to get Micah Richards on my regime. He's ballooning. I'll tell you what. We were talking about going doing a gym sesh when we was it in Germany or in Qatar with Micah. I reckon he throws about some fucking iron, you know. He's a thick lad. What's going on here? Bruno has the 4th amount of shots taken by any United player in Premier League history. Fucking hell, really? War Machine says, what about protein shakes? Well, yeah, I do have protein shakes, which will have sugar in. Tommy says they know they're getting relegated. City playing like they want a change of manager. Jacob says pants or no pants. Currently got pants on. James says, I really like Micah. Too bad he was a blue. Who would I sign for that left wing back position? We'll do some content on that and look into like 4 or 5 options. John says, Steve was addicted to Red Bull for 15 years. June last year, cut it out, lost 3 stone just from cutting 8 cans a day. Mate, we are the same person. And I've just got back on it. Oh, for fuck's sake. It's too addictive. Advice, swap it. Just swap it for something else. That's why I swapped it for the Optimizer and I'm fine. And I haven't even thought about one. I've been sound. Alex says the brew at Muscle Paradise. I'm up for it. Jay might not be. I've ever been in the Salford Arms near the Lowry? No, I don't think I have. Thriller says they don't have backup players for key positions and have let a lot of players go who could help them. Their style is great, but very delicate. One wrong pass can cause havoc, example being today. I think it's more than that. And supposedly they had the depth, though, didn't they? They had the depth. Vertigo says Rodri being injured and Pep not being able to cope without him in the team. Plus, I think that court case is getting in their head. I hope it is the court case, genuinely. Kieran says City have fallen off because of a mindset issue, nothing more, nothing less. GGH says, I think they had a few losses, then started to question themselves, and now they've bottled it. City fallen off because of a mindset issue. I've read that one. Dylan says, do I think their players are not happy that Walker was chose to be captain? I can't imagine so. The professional footballers not being fucking children about shit like that, are they? Kian says, you just know that TalkSport are sitting around their excuse table tonight trying to downplay the United win. I've never been more sure of anything in my fucking life. Chris says, bone broth. Do you know what? Watch this space. I might have a fucking dabble on the bone broth. Let's see what's going up. UFC MMA says, coming off a cycle. Smells like it, doesn't it? Matty H says, paddock shirt shipped. Enjoy it. Roy says, need more protein to maintain the muscle as you lose weight. Yeah, I mean, I think with the amount of calories I was on, I was always going to just lose a bit of muscle anyway. Ann Wynn says, would I take Diblin in January? I think he's going to cost too much, but I like him. Am I into the history of Wall Street? Nah, I don't really have any fucking... I'm quite financially fucking illiterate, to be honest. Yeah, I don't know anything about that, trading, investing, none of that shit. Steven says, I've been out the loop all weekend. How did the paddock game play out? Was we lucky to rescue a point? Started off great, scored after 5 minutes. For half an hour, we was absolutely dominant. Opposition were losing their head left, right, and centre. And then we got dragged into just the carnage and chaos. Second half starts, and I fucking literally said to the lads, if we keep 11 men on the pitch, we win this game, no problem. But I could see us getting dragged into... a load of chaos and nonsense, and I thought I could see one of them losing their head. There was a couple of lads kicking off and that. And I was like, just fucking keep calm. 2 minutes later, Sam tries to 2-foot one of them. He missed the lad. He got the ball. but it was 2 foot. The opposition reaction made the ref fucking make the decision. He sent him off. So from the 47th minute onwards, we're down to 10 men at 1-1. Then we give a penalty away. Then we concede a third. And then I thought, right, well, we're losing. What can we do? So I put a 16-year-old on up front, changed the shape, took off a defender, went 3-3-3. Let's go for it. Told the 3 forwards, I don't want you doing any defending. I'll defend with the 6 that we've got behind the ball. You 3 stay high and wide. Got back into it and ended up drawing 3-3. And I was fuming at the end of the game because I'm always fuming if we drop points. But actually, once I've thought about it and I spoke to my dad and he goes, yeah, it's a point gained actually, because realistically we shouldn't have won it from that point, and maybe last season we wouldn't have won it from that point. So I'm pretty happy with the point. All told, I'm very happy with the fight from the lads, very happy with the attitude from the lads. We kept trying to play our game. They were still up, back and throughs, one touch play in the final third happening, and if we'd have played another 5 minutes, we would have scored again. There was only one team trying to win that game, and that was us. So it's one of them. Who was a 16-year-old? It was Leland, got his debut yesterday, the striker. We played him in pre-season when he was a 15-year-old. Did he score? He had a shot, didn't he? I don't know if he actually scored it against Dayton. We played him against Dayton in a pre-season. I think I only gave him about 10 minutes or something like that. But yeah, I had Bobby and Leland, 2 under-16s on the bench yesterday. So, I'm trying to put my money where my mouth is. And, I talk about Manchester United developing youth players. I can only do the same with ours, can't I? Thriller says, good tactical switch. What made you go 3-3-3? I assume the defence and midfield were pretty narrow. I trust my defenders to go 1v1 against their attackers. I got fucking great lads in the back line, very mature back line. They was offering fucking nothing. I just felt like we needed to not sink. You play 4-2-3-1, you lose your striker, you end up looking like 4-3-2. Your wingers don't really know where to be. Just keep the pressure on, innit? Fuck it. Like the midfield wasn't really being utilised because they was bypassing it and just going long into the channel. So let's go 1v1 at the back. Let's have our midfield try and get the ball forward, and let's keep our forward line up there. It's easy, innit? Flashburn says, credit to Liam for doing the live streams. Yeah, they're fantastic. His commentary really adds. Like, there's one thing like watching the commentary and back after the game and then trying to like commentate on them, but when you get the live ones, it's fucking brilliant. I love it. Peter says, nice content, Stephen. Made a cheesy Christmas song. Oh god. Christmas time has come. It's United's time to have fun. Ruben Amorim will make them run. Make them run. What's your day job, mate? If you was writing any kind of like, no, just maybe don't. Have we ever beat them at Newton? No, and that's the other thing. Yeah, it was a place that we've never won. So, one of them. Alex says, Chelsea 2 point behind the Scousers. Who the fuck had that on their pre-season bingo card? We're all Chelsea, aren't we, at the minute? Have I tried the starting formation corner strategy yet? No, I will do it. Notch in the chat. Missed the whole Paddock game yesterday. Sounds like it was a banger. It was certainly interesting. Salty Pretzel, welcome to the membership. Yeah, welcome to everyone that's just joined the membership as well. Or come and hit us up on the old Patreon. AJ Wright says, went back and watched the reaction to Ronaldo signing. Fucking hell. Made me realise how amazing the weight loss journey has been. Hats off. Yeah, you don't have to go back too far on my Instagram page, really, to see a fucking big old face filling the entire reel up. It is what it is. Beyond says, never seen Pep so defeated either. Something is going on in his head. It's weird. We're here for it. David O'Connor says, got my blackout shirt. Love it. Thanks. Welcome. We were fairly boring 2-1. Oh, yeah, I saw. Win's a win. It's our reserves pushing for a league win, which would be great if they can get. Dean says, the man in the high castle went to pot after a cracking start. Great premise, but started to get lost up its own backside. Yeah, it was a great premise. So if I remember right, you had Imperial Japan sort of on the west coast, like a no man's landing, like Midwest, and then like the east coast was all like Nazis, I think. Ragnar Lothbrok or Thomas Shelby? No preference, really. Jonah says the hat rack is dope. I have another one as well, actually. I'm not just going to buy one, am I? So we have one for the boonies as well. Because I do like a boonie. Which one should we rock? We've got a couple of black multicam ones there, an ACU style American one. I like that one. Should put that one on. It's a good hat. That works, doesn't it? We should finish the night like this. I think we should finish the night like this. Does the job. Peter says, hi, Stephen. AI wrote that one. Blame AI. I'm blaming you. You put it in the chat. Richard says, shout out to whoever recommended Day of the Jackal on the Brew the other day. Just binged it hard. It's awesome. Oh. Feral Pleasure says, great book, though. I don't know what we're talking about there. Oh, is that The Man in the High Castle? Need some new clips. I do need some new clips. I need some new photos for all the thumbnails as well. Steven says, is Patreon the same as YouTube? Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much, yeah. Can I tell Ash the BBC doesn't mean he has to be a dull bastard? Between him and Walcott on Match of the Day yesterday, I was asleep by the end of the second game. He sent me a fucking picture yesterday. So, like, the Clarks I bought him, was it for Christmas last year? I can't remember what I bought him for. He texted me yesterday saying Match of the Day debut last night with the new shoes that he's got on. I didn't tune in. What was I doing last night? Do I think Pep stopped crying yet? No. Bjorn says, did the Amarim comments about Rashford and Garnacho remind me of what Ten Hag said about Sancho? No. What's been the weekly average weight loss? About 4 or 5 pounds, I think, which is a lot. It was more than I was planning. Lee says, up the D's, up the Reds. What's going on at Salford Rugby League? Rugby League's just in a mess from a PR point of view, and I think they spend far too long fucking around trying to change the format of everything and not focusing on just having a good game. Why was it such a good game in the 90s and the 2000s? Why was it so fucking on top then, and why has it fell off now? That's what they need to get into and figure out. Because once they figure that out, I think they'll get it back to where it was. Swaxwell Silver says, Ashu Williams, former Wales captain and occasional podcast co-host. Lost Age Secrets, the best explanation for why City are performing so bad is that a very high level witch's coven has put a curse on them. That's the only thing I can think of. Was it Yaya Toure? Would I fight Mo Hijab on Misfits? I don't know who that is. Do I think Pep stopped crying yet? Obviously, that one I mean. Peter Kelly says, Say Nothing is set during the Troubles in Ireland, and everyone in it are real people. It's based on true events. Is there a book that was based on? Is there a book that was based on? Because I think I've seen that book advertised. Jed's Dead says, got to try the 4-3-3 corner strategy at 0-0 when it really matters and see if it works. Not when you're 4-0 up. Take the risk for science. I can't do it. I managed to get the lads to try my fucking absolute wibble of a corner idea out. So my wibble of a corner idea is, let me show you. I'll use the back of my keyboard here, right? So let me just see what I'm showing you. The dog's coming back up. Right, okay, so here's your goal. So the goalkeeper stands here in the middle, usually, right? So my idea was, you stand here, 1/3 of the way over. Now, you can pretty much jump late and get to anything around here, right? But you kind of already know you got to dive that way. and you can dive late and make sure. And as long as you see that his foot's pointing that way. Now, I think what happens, like, it's a 77% chance that he's going to score the goal anyway. So if you start from here, you save 1 in 4, you've already done better than what it thinks that you're going to do. And I think what happens is you force the penalty taker to either shoot it at you, and he's fucked it, or they go for precision and go for the corner. And going for precision and going for the corner means that you can miss. And I think you miss. And I managed to get Chris, our goalkeeper, when he was a goalkeeper, to do it for me once. And it worked. The lad missed. But then he wouldn't do it again after that. And I think that's the move. I think you do some mad shit like that for it. And I think that corner technique comes under a similar kind of thing. People have got to test it out. But I actually think if you do the 4-3-3 thing from a goal kick, from a corner kick, the opposition are taking half of the players out of the box. And then you just tell the 2 lads that are in there, you just got to win the ball. Just both of you. Don't worry about marking anyone. Just fucking both of you attack the ball. And I think you get it. And then the keeper's not penned in by people and he can come out and use his fucking arms. I'm not trying it at 0-0, but I'll try and do it. Ellie says, so glad you're on the weight loss journey, looking healthy. Thank you. All the love from Lebanon. Josh says, can I see if Joey Barton's game for the boxing? Him calling out Keno for one boiled my piss. No, because you know what? with the boxing thing, I don't want it to be someone that I actually fucking actively dislike, because I think it takes away from doing it for the sport of it, which is what I would like to do. I'd like to go on a journey of doing it for the sport of it. And I don't want it to be all an emotional thing where it's like just an absolute nightmare if you lose. I'd like it to be a fun thing. So yeah. Joda says, I'm facing a vegan Christmas dinner this year. Wish me luck. Oh, unlucky. Oh, fucking Christ. That's unfortunate. What do I make of Tommy Fury? Don't know the guy. It's not like he's ever hurt anyone, is it? I bet I've saved a fortune not buying Red Bull. Probably, yeah. Don't feel like I have, but yeah, probably. Well, I do a documentary on IRL following the boxing training. Could be great content. If we get the nod and we sign the deal, then that one of the reasons I would be doing it would be to make content out of it. Yeah, I think doing a weekly training camp diary would be quite good content, quite interesting. But yeah, it'd be one of them. I mean, I did already speak to Crawler about training with Crawler for it. I think that'd be a goer. So yeah, we'll have to see. The deal's got to make sense. Yeah, it's got to fit in with everything else as well. So we'll see. Ion says, thoughts on Rene Heck saying players are not following tactical instructions. I fucking saw the game. I could fucking tell him that without ever being privy to what actually was going on and not going on. Yeah, you could absolutely tell that. He's got to a point where they sack him. Will he get there? Oh, there's got to be a point where they sack him. Will he get there? I don't think so, no. Like I said earlier, I think Pep's bigger than City, so I don't think that happens. Anne says, I think we should leave 4 players between the halfway line and outside our box when we defend, as it gives Onana more room to get the ball. I think there's a lot in there. I think people have got to go and experiment and find out what's working and what's not. I don't like this new trend of 11 players are in the box from your team defending it, because then the opposition don't have anything to worry about. You've got to leave a couple up. I don't think all of those people add to being able to defend. I mean, someone's obviously done the maths and they'd probably be like, well, actually it does, and here's the fucking proof of it. But it feels like there's more happening. If City get punished significantly, that's when Pep will Scarpa. It smells like that a bit, doesn't it? Dan says, I think Pep walks at the end of the season. Alex says, also need to ask you and others because I'm getting pissed off. Why is Aspinall not getting the fight versus Jones? Because Dana White's a fucking knob, mate, at the top and bottom of it. He thinks that fucking power slap bullshit's bigger than football. He's a fucking idiot. He's just a complete and utter fucking idiot. Oh, Dan Willis with a controversial comment says, Dave Jackal was awful. First sniper scene as a load of bollocks. Oh, I'm not going to fucking hate it, am I? Miles says, do I not love when over 60-year-olds pronounce Ahmad as Ahmed? I've not heard it, actually. 20 Legend says, that's been all this fighting, Jones. Oh, there you go. Bruce says, so pleased to see this result. Pep is going mental, and the self-harm thing seems odd. Look great. Keep it up. Oh, yeah, Ahmad is a real treasure, and I think Amarim is the man for the job. MK Fox says, yeah, Rashford marking was confusing. Jones won't fight him, says Dan. Swaxwell Silver says, vegan Christmas dinner, no, I want some meat. No pause. Vegan normal meals, though, can be nice. James says, the guy who sits behind me talks a lot of shit, but leaving people up on corners makes sense. Just, I don't fucking get it. I don't get why you wouldn't. Do I still keep in touch with Brendan? Yes, I chat to Brendan frequently. Keaton says, am I watching anything currently on Netflix that would highly recommend? Just started Lioness and Taylor Sheridan is a genius. On Netflix? No, not really. Am I back in for Usyk and Fury? Not really asked, to be honest. What do I think happens with Rashford next? I don't believe he can get it back. I think it'd be best for all involved if we got a decent fee for him and moved him on. And I think he'll probably fucking smash it wherever he goes. But I just don't have the faith. Saeed says, may the Manchester brothers rest well. The older brother Hall of Fame and the younger brother Hall of Very Good. Not sure what that means, but okay. Brian says, is there anyone else in the squad we can get to take corners? Bruno can't seem to beat the first man at all. I don't think we took a fucking decent corner since the 90s. It's annoying, isn't it? Enraged says, I think I'd prefer if this downfall happened to Klopp. It's almost as funny watching Slot come in and be this good with this Liverpool team, because it just like completely just shuts down how good Klopp was. One of a kind, fucking special, blah blah blah. Some random fucking lunatics just come in and just done the exact same fucking job. Easy. Tobias says, would love for him to get back to his best, but really can't wait anymore. It's not that we can't wait, I just don't believe he can do it. Who's the next youth under 23 talent that could break through? I think Ibrahimov is the one that could really do an absolute madness, to be honest. Really think he could do an absolute madness. How much of Rashford's issues are down the way press and fans treat him? I don't think they are. I mean, I'm sure it doesn't help, but I don't think they are, to be honest. David Graham says, hi from a very happy Chorley boy in Canberra. Good morning. Yeah, morning. Izoli says, Maresca is a problem. He doesn't overcoach like certain other Pep disciples. They look like the best team in the league right now. Yeah, but how fucked would they be if they didn't have Cole Palmer, do you reckon? If Cole Palmer just suddenly just was injured, do you think they'd still be as good? Sam says, Klopp deserves some credit for building the team, but do agree. Don't they have a whole fucking scout department? Wasn't like Salah not wanted by him and stuff. MK Fox says, smash a like for the tactical boonie. Yeah, hit the fucking like button, you slags. Right, I'm going to wrap it up. But cheers everyone for tuning in. Well done to United and Amarim for a great fucking result. And a pretty solid performance as well, I think it was tonight. Vegard there says, Ahmad kind of reminds me of Salah. If he starts doing Salah numbers, I'm going to be completely fucking overboard in terms of how we talk about him. But yeah. Cheers everyone for tuning in. If you want a little bit more content, want to support the channel, then YouTube memberships, buttons right down there, just hit join, or Patreon. Like I said, there's going to be IRL Fest when we do it in the summer. It's probably only going to go on Patreon. There's all sorts of extra shit on there. My immediate thoughts from our match yesterday are on there. There'll be vlogs coming out next week and stuff as well. So, as always, appreciate the support, appreciate you fuckers. And I'll be back in the morning with 5 things and player ratings as well. And it might be 11 out of 10 for Ahmad. I'm just putting out there, it might be 11 out. It might be 11 out of 10. I don't know. I haven't done it yet. I have to look at the facts. It might be 11 out of 10. See you in a bit. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, 5-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.